At the height of COVID, the Uwezo Vijana UKV program began with a vision to empower Kenya's youth, fostering self-reliance and economic independence. This dream aimed to uplift the most vulnerable in society, providing them with tools to transform their lives and build self-reliance to face challenges, as it is often the marginalized in society who are hardest hit by life's shocks.
Emerging Leaders has always been a youth-centric organization, understanding if we're going to create a movement of change across the world, it's going to be focused in vulnerable communities around young people. And yet, whilst young people had always been a key part of our program, we'd never yet done a youth-specific program. And so the idea of Uwezo Vijana was born. How can we create a program, a model that we can take the learning that we have from working with adults in vulnerable communities around the world and bringing it into some of the informal settlements to be able to equip young people in order to be able to reimagine and rewrite the story that they want for their lives. And so we sat down with the team here in Kenya, and we began to think, what are the problems that people are facing? What are the challenges? What are the outcomes and the realities of those? What are the restrictions that many of them are facing? And how can we help them to begin to overcome it?
The youth in Kenya face significant challenges, from unemployment to a lack of opportunities to self-actualize. The UKV program was designed to address these issues head-on.
The key things in which the UKV aimed to combat included to reduce the level of poverty on the streets. By educating people, it mainly enhanced that these people wange change their lives, and then poverty levels pale kwa street ingepungua, because once watu wangeanza kudo something useful na maisha yao, at least wangeweza kusonga mbele na life. Another thing ilikuanga ku reduce crime rate, because especially mahali mimi natoka unapata maboi wengi hawajajieka kwa biashara yoyote, mostly wanajieka kwa vitu za drugs, kukula miraa, wizi. Another thing yenye the UKV really help to improve in our society ni ku reduce dependency. Unaona, dependency in which unapata watu pale kwa mtaa wanasema hawataki ku change their lives, wanangoja factors kama government ipunguze vitu, wanangoja mtu atoke huko akuja wasaidia wenyewe, wanangoja that miracle will happen. And wakati tu UKV ilikama ilifunza watu kuwa proactive, kusina kutake responsibility hapo nje.
The changes I've seen in UKV Uwezo Vijana back in the community, number one, and the people started saving. Me at first, after I was trained emerging leaders, the first thing that I started to do is saving. Hiyo ni kitu yenye impact sana my life. At least nijua, okay, I can save, I can open a business. Me personally nimefanya pia, nikaenda back to school, even though I was very disappointed, like I've got a C, I can't go to the university, watu wengi wenye nimesoma nao wameenda university, but mimi nilisema, if I, Josephine Ademba, I changed, I can also change other people's lives. Hawa watu wenye nilifundisha, my participants, they started saving, majority of them started saving. Mwingine alikuwa anakuambia anapata 500 a week, but sasa he can't save or she can't save. But me, I talked to them, nikawambia A, B, C, and D. Ukitaka kusave, unaanza na kidogo, maybe 50, 100 bob a day. So the 50-50 yenye ukiweka in a week inakuwa 250. After 2 weeks, after 3 weeks, 4 weeks, inakuwa 1,000 shillings. So step by step. Another thing, apart from saving, kuna wenye walifungua biashara, kuna wenye walienda kutafuta makazi, kuna wenye walikuwa na kazi na waka-employ other people na wakafungua other small businesses to do. So in terms of impact, imebadilisha sana the community people and I also. Juzi sasa hii nikienda, let's say for example Mukuru kwa Njenga, place yenye kumekuwa na classes zangu mo, hao watu wamebadilika. Majority of them wamefungua biashara. Nikipita hivi, mwalimu, hi, mwalimu.
Launched in May 2021, the UKV program set out to directly engage 18,000 youth through comprehensive training, mentorship, and coaching. The journey was not without challenges. Participants faced numerous obstacles, from financial constraints to societal pressures.
Unapata the program was new in the community, like in Mukuru akunanga like hiyo emerging leaders hawajaisikia. So the moment we introduce emerging leaders in Mukuru, unapata wase wengi walikuwa wanataka kujua what's going on, what is emerging leaders, nini inaendelea hapa. So unapata wase wanapigia, ukienda orientation, wasa wanakupigia simu hadi saa 6 usiku. Wanakuuliza preza join class ya kesho.
Sometimes unapata umeleta a group of potential people wameingia kwa class, and then wakitoka unaona kuna community mabeste zao wanapita karibu na hall where we were doing the classes. Wanawaambia mnafanya nini kwa class ya wasichana, ama pia nyinyi mnaenda kupewa pads? So unaona vitu kama hizo zilikuwa zinaandamine watu kukuja, especially my youth vijana.
Despite these hurdles, the program's resilience shone through.
We as mobilizers ni watu wenye tumetrainiwa kutoka kwa community. So hao watu wanatujua, ni watu wenye wameona change imehappen kwetu. So by the time naenda nawaambia kuna program yenye imekam imenifanyia vitu 2-3, na wakiona wanaona true the changes ni za ukweli. Hapo ndio mali ilikuwa inapata hata watu wanataka kukamo wajue hii ni nini yenye huyu kijana mwenye anaitwa Rajab alifunzwa huko yenye imefanya life yake ka change.
So some of the lessons that we learned along the way was one, the perception that youth have in regards to financial services, where a good majority of youth did not feel that what was already available would work for them. And so over time, what we started to observe was that as much as majority of them would adopt saving practices, they came up with innovative and creative ways around identifying the platforms that worked for them. So majority of them opted to use mobile money as a platform for their savings, and another good majority of them opted to use village savings groups as the options or the available circles within their community. And a very, very small majority of them opted for banking services. The other lesson that we learned was the impact of behavior change, and especially among men, on family dynamics and gender transformative impact, where we would find that because of the program and because of the focus on mindset and behavior change and getting the participants to then begin to reflect on what hasn't worked, we found that many of them began to draw connections between the quality of life that they would want for their children and their influence within the family. So where we started to find actually a lot of the men who went through our program, one of the outcomes that we began to observe was actually that a lot of them began to become very intentional in their parenting, very present in terms of their children and parenting. But at the same time, a lot of them then began to promote their spouses or partners to also begin to engage in economic activity, because they realized that with that, there was one, combined household income, but also the influence of entire household transformation for the family.
The impact of UKV was profound, with many participants experiencing significant positive changes in their lives.
Nakanishukuru Imagine Leaders juu walitufungua macho. Nyakati tukiwa hapo base ilikuwa ni challenge kubwa sana juu kila mtu alikuwa juu ya mawe. Hatukuwa na focus yoyote. So the moment walitufunza about Imagine Leader, wakatuambia tuko na the amazing potential in us. Tukakaa chini, tukafunzwa about the 7 poverty mindsets zenye zinafanyanga tukue down. Tukazijua, tulizijua tukaambia pia sisi ni leader. Na ndio ukiwa na goal fulani lazima tukiwe na zile 7 leadership mindsets.
So I also love sharing my experience with people, get to inspire the young girls, the young boys, and equal show that we all have an amazing potential. And without Emerging Leaders, actually singeamini that I had an amazing potential.
At the end of the day, bado nilikuwa najiita maskini. But after kupata hiyo knowledge ya Emerging Leaders, niliweza kujua I have amazing potential. Na mimi ni leader, na leadership exists for the benefit of others. Nikaweza kuchukulia community yangu in a different perspective. Before Emerging Leaders, I was one of the hardcore thieves in this area. Mimi ndo nilikuwa mtu na lead crime. Hata chief akikuja area anajua base ya muonge. But after Emerging Leaders, kila kitu ili change. Hata sasa nikiingia kwa hizo station, like wako so welcoming. Nikienda kwa chief, we are so friendly kwa sababu ya ile impact ya Emerging Leaders ni mwenyewe aliniletea. And then unapata kwa community nikaanza kuinfluence my youth. Juu nilikuwa na influence na crime, nikaanza ku-influence out of crime. So unapata bado nikacheza na system ya crime, na kwa sababu ya ile knowledge nilipata kutoka kwa Emerging Leaders.
Ukiangalia background ama community yetu, watu wengi huko na hopeless thinking. Sawa? Wanaona gani kama hawawezi, juu mabaro wetu wengi wetu wako tu kuna wako tu down. So kwa hiyo training at least nilijua hiyo place thinking ndio kitu yetu kula sana. Tunaona ni kama hatuwezi, hata sisi tu ni wageto, level yetu iko tu hapa. So at least hiyo bado inafungua tu akili tu poa kabisa.
My name is Zakaria Ngesho. Sign name, because the deaf in Naivasha know me as Ngeshu, with a mark on my nose. I was a boda boda rider before becoming a fisherman after the emerging leaders training. After the training, I came back to teach other deaf about fishing as a business and also boat repairs.
Before nikuja emerging leaders, I was hurt very badly. Kazi yangu aliniacha na deni ya rent ya 42,000. So ilikuwa hard kwangu to understand that right now I am a single mom, that I need to be a leader of that family. I need to do everything for my kid and my life. I was just msewa kuosha manguo and all that. But when nilisomea emerging leaders, hiyo masomo ilifanya ni change career yangu, ikanifanya nifungue akili, na akili yangu ikafunguka in a way that nikaona saa hizi ni construction sites zina grow sana, ni industry yenye ina grow zaidi, na the only way that I can do it better kuliko niende kwa site nikwe mama anauza uji, nikaona the best thing to do ni nikwe fundi. So emerging leaders, kongole kwenyu kwa sababu ya kutupatia hii chance ya kusoma, na tunajua that mkatusaidia tukajua we have a pen to write our story. Now you can write your story the way you want it to be. Don't let anybody write your story. Just take a pen and write your story the way you want it to be.
The journey of the Uwezo kwa Vijana program is a testament to the power of dreams and resilience. The dream continues, fueled by the success and hope of those it has touched.
So where do we go from here? Is this the end of the story? Well, the simple answer is no. Uwezo kwa Vijana, as the project that was born, has now been completed, but the story doesn't finish. We've been so excited and inspired by what we've begun to see in the lives of young people here in the informal settlements in Kenya that we are eager for the story to continue. So we're working on a model that at the moment we're calling Uwezo kwa Vijana Plus. Uwezo kwa Vijana Plus is simply this, is that we're looking to add 3 additional streams alongside the amazing Leadership for Life program that we have already been running. Number 1, we want to have an entrepreneurship stream. Around 30% of the young people that have come through Uwezo kwa Vijana have started businesses. We want to start an employability stream. And then thirdly, we want to create a social or a civic strand pathway. And across all 3 of those programs, we're going to help them to better understand as well around their own mental health, their well-being. What is it that causes tension in their lives? How can they manage that tension and challenges as they face it? How can they recognize it? How can they relieve it when that comes? And then how can they find a way to be able to navigate those difficult challenges and still thrive and flourish in every aspect of their lives?